Good afternoon. We're starting early today on the Nickel City Hockey Network, a 4 p.m. start for Starpoint and Grand Island as we continue to bring you live coverage of Section 6 high school hockey. Good afternoon. My name's Aaron Elpern. Happy to join you for the call of our game today, and this is a rescheduled contest, which explains the somewhat unusual start time. Originally, this was scheduled for December 26th, but with the region digging out from the Christmas blizzard, that game was understandably postponed. And when rescheduling a game mid-season, finding any time available can be a battle, so this 4 p.m. time could certainly be a lot worse. Earlier this week on Monday, Kenmore East and Iroquois Alden played a game that had also been postponed. Face-off for that one was at 10 a.m. But I can certainly say that both coaches here in this matchup are happy that they found some time for this one, because this one is a rematch of last year's small schools sectional championship. And that one was a tightly contested game, a 2-1 Starpoint victory, part of the Starpoint Spartans' thrilling postseason run that landed them in the state title game. Both teams, however, have some work to do if they're going to make it back to the sectional championship. Starpoint comes into this matchup with a respectable 7-4 record this season, but the Spartans have lost 2 of their last 3. That includes the most recent game on Saturday, a game that was seen here on the Nickel City Hockey Network, that being a tough 5-1 loss to their neighbors and rivals at Niagara Wheatfield. Meanwhile, on the other side of the ice, Grand Island knocked off Newport on Monday. That improved them to 6-4-1 on the season. Before that, however, it had been 3 straight losses for the Vikings, so both squads are coming into this one certainly looking for a game that they can use to maybe steady the ship going forward, find a little bit of consistency going towards the end of the regular season. This game is considered a non-division game. Starpoint is part of ECIC2, while Grand Island is in the Niagara Frontier League. But of course, this game still does matter for overall rankings when both teams go into the small schools bracket for the postseason. So it's certainly a game that has some meaning for the overall picture, but in terms of the regular season, not exactly one that's going to be a big determining factor about where the teams will finish in terms of their league standings. Goaltenders in net for this afternoon's game. For Starpoint, it's going to be number 30, Rich Guru, getting the start. However, it's expected to be a split time today, with this being a non-division matchup. Expect to see Nick Prezioso coming in at some point midway through the contest. Meanwhile, on the other side of the rink this afternoon, it's going to be number 30, Chris Swain, getting the start for Grand Island. The sophomore goaltender appearing in his 5th game here tonight. So a couple of guys that not necessarily get the full assortment of the work in net going to be in net here tonight for this afternoon's game. And certainly we're excited to see what happens with this matchup here this afternoon. We're going to meet the starting lineups, and then we'll be ready for puck drop here from Hyde Park Ice Pavilion as we bring you live coverage of Grand Island and Starpoint.
Now the starting lineups for your home Grand Island Vikings, coached by
And welcome to Hyde Park Pavilion as we get set for Section 6 high school hockey on the Nickel City Hockey Network. It's Grand Island hosting Starpoint in a rematch of last year's Section 6 small school title game. Certainly a matchup that we're excited for here today to bring you on the Nickel City Hockey Network. Thank you so much for joining our broadcast. And our broadcast today is proudly supported by the architects at Lauer Manguso & Associates. Architecture, engineering, and design services from Lauer Manguso have earned the firm a reputation for quality and excellence spanning more than 4 decades. Also by Envious Gameware, designers of high-end custom hockey uniforms, bags, and apparel. The thinking of look good, feel good, play good goes into every Envious jersey design. Find them online, enviousgameware.com, to get your team a look to be envious of. Also by 412 Communications, the new gold standard in digital media solutions. Visit them, 412communications.com, to learn how they can help your brand build bridges with the people you serve. Set to get underway here from the Hyde Park Ice Pavilion in Niagara Falls. It's Grand Island and Starpoint in a Section 6 non-division matchup. Thank you so much for joining our broadcast this afternoon on the Nickel City Hockey Network. Aaron Elpern alongside camera operator / color commentator Jeff Jazarowski, as we're happy to bring you live coverage of this great matchup, a rematch of last year's small schools title game in Section 6. About 20 seconds into the action here, puck inside the Starpoint zone. Josh McClellan picking it up there behind his net. Gets it to Cyric. Cyric now looking for a lane up the right side. Has enough room to just skate it himself, and he gains the blue line. Cyric now looking for a pass out towards the front of the net. He had Austin Bush there cutting toward the far post. Pass, however, never got to him. Grand Island now moving it out into the neutral zone, but Jacob Cyric again finding control of that puck, and now looking to come back toward the Grand Island zone. Puck is poked away and then moved through the neutral zone and into Starpoint territory by Tucker Schoen. Schoen putting a little bit of pressure on, but Alec Kirk picks it up for Starpoint. Now he's got some room to get that puck up ice. He's got Will Mainstone at the far blue line. Mainstone losing control of that one as he took a little bit of a poke check by Ryan Smith. Now a battle for possession of the puck just inside the Grand Island blue line. Puck is swung around behind the Grand Island net. The first one to it is Aiden Case, the defenseman for Starpoint, making sure it stays deep in the zone. Down below the net, this is Will Mainstone looking for a pass. He's got it out to Kirk. Kirk looking for that shot. Got it in on goal. 2 saves had to be made there by the netminder, Chris Swain. Looked like that first one just kind of sat in front of him. Kirk got that second opportunity at it. Swain up to the challenge in both cases as he gets the cover and the stoppage in play. 15:40 now remaining here in first period play. Face off to the left of Swain. Referees just making sure everything is to their liking as Starpoint wins the face-off. Back to the point to Manguso. Looks for a shooting lane, doesn't see anything he likes, and gets it behind the net where Mainstone sets up some battle. Unable to get possession of that one, but Alec Kirk intercepts a pass in the neutral zone, sending it right back in on goal. Now Starpoint setting up some pressure again here in the near corner. Getting it away from that pressure, though, and getting a pass up ice is Connor Morrow. Dumped into the offensive zone for Grand Island. Aiden Case goes back for it. He's got some time and space to get that puck up ice to Justin Bull. Maybe a little bit rushed on that pass there. And now Aiden Case has to settle things down inside his own blue line. His pass is intercepted. Almost a chance in tight. He's intercepting that one and getting a look in tight was Jason Hill. Couldn't quite get a shot away before he was able to settle that one down. Hill again with the puck behind on a stick behind the Starpoint net. 2 different Starpoint defenders coming to try to take him away from it. It's going to be eventually Aiden Case doing so, but he takes a big hit in the near corner. Now Grand Island finding control of that puck, and then a shot taken as that puck came out to the dangerous Eddie Kwarziak. Let a quick wrist shot go in on net. Save made by Garou as the puck is sent the length of the ice here. And Starpoint's going to be guilty of an icing. First real good opportunity there of the game goes to the dangerous Eddie Kwarziak, as that is one of the players that Starpoint's certainly going to have to keep an eye on. Number 9 for Grand Island, the smooth skating forward. Certainly a danger anytime he touches the puck.
Starpoint's going to have to be careful in their own zone here. And turnover in the middle caused that early chance there. And as long as they prevent that, their top-end talent should lead them to victory here.
Shot off the draw from Grand Island goes just wide. Now a battle for the puck along the near wall. Coming out of that pile was number 12, Reed Mariner, but he's unable to get it out of the zone. Now Cardarella in the far corner looking to break it out for his Starpoint Spartans, but his pass doesn't connect. Eventually, though, it does come out. Now up the left wing is Mike Merrifield. Tries to get that pass up to Russell, but unable to get it to him. And now cycling in the neutral zone and able to get just much further into the offensive zone than a couple of strides inside the blue line. Eventually, it's going to be Kwarziak dumping it in. Now Cardarella sends it up the far wall where he finds a teammate up there. Merrifield now cutting through the middle of the ice. gets a pass across to Russell, and now Russell gets it into the offensive zone. His shot, though, blocked on the way to the net. Getting in the way of that one was Patrick Johnston. Shot ends up in the protective netting behind the Grand Island cage. We get another stoppage. 13:48 now remaining here in the first period. Faceoff's going to come to the left of Swain. And it's going to be Cyrick on for the draw for Starpoint, unable to win that draw, as it was Jackson Montana successfully winning possession of that for his Grand Island Vikings. Vikings unable to get it out of the zone, though, as keeping it in on the far point was Josh McClellan. Now Starpoint setting up some forecheck pressure as it's down low. Both Jim Manguso and Jacob Cyrick putting on some pressure. Breaking that pressure and getting the puck up ice is going to be Ricky Kwarziak into the offensive zone. That's going to be Joe Manguso picking it up there, and quickly Starpoint moves it out of the zone. Cyrick gets it all the way up ice. This is going to be Frankie Cargarella carrying it into the offensive end. Cargarella now trying to find possession of that puck as the defenseman Ryan Smith down there battling for it with him. Second Starpoint player joins the fray, and Cargarella gets it back to the point. Manguso's shot from there is up top, up in the hands of the netminder. It looked like he kind of got a little bit handcuffed with it. Rebound came out of there, but wasn't a Starpoint player in the right position to get that second shot opportunity in on goal. Cargarella now against the near wall. Had two different Grand Island players against him, but he managed to get it away from them and feed a pass out towards the front of the net. Nobody there for Starpoint to take advantage of that. Now Cargarella has it just in front of our broadcast position. Avoids one forechecker, but his second guy takes it away from him, but he gets some help from Alec Kirk. Kirk with the shot in on goal and a save made by Swain, as that's the third or fourth shot in on goal now for Starpoint already. Back to the point, Aiden Case keeps it in his right point position, just sends it around behind the net to make sure it stays in the offensive zone. Puck bounces out to Connor Morrow, but he's unable to get it out. Mainstone keeps it in. His shot, though, hits a body on his way through and now comes back out to center ice. McClellan finding it there. And now looking to start it up ice. Justin Bowe winding it up in the center red line. Takes a shot as he steps just inside the blue line. Save is made by Chris Swain, as that was one of the more dangerous players for Starpoint with the puck on his stick right there. That is Justin Bowe, number 7, as he is nearing a milestone in his varsity career. Justin Bowe just 1 point away from 100 in his varsity career. He had the only goal on Saturday in the 5-1 loss to Niagara Wheatfield. Scrambled face-off. Grand Island unable to get it out, and it's kept in by Aiden Case. Gets it to Mainstone. Now he tries to get that pass across. It looked like it just kind of bounced before it got over to Kirk. Puck comes out to center ice. Bull needed to be quicker with that one as Tucker Schoen takes it off of his stick. Now Schoen's the first one to it in the offensive zone for the Vikings. Tries to feed a pass out in front. Leone giving him a little bit of help. Neither one of them able to get that one in front of the netminder Guru. Now Leone again trying to find possession of it as he knocks down Aiden Case. Case, though, managed to get that pass up ice, and now here come the Starpoint Spartans through the neutral zone. Bull letting that shot go from about 3 strides inside the blue line. Good save by Chris Swain as number 7 looking to test the young sophomore netminder. A couple of different shots there on that shift, but so far Swain has been up to the challenges that Starpoint has thrown at him, keeping this a 0-0 game. 11:27 now remaining here in the first.
Starpoint's definitely going with the pepper the goalie strat here. Every time they cross over the blue line, Aaron, they seem to be putting the puck on net and really just trying to get after the goalie early.
Seems so far that there's no real hangover from Saturday's loss to Niagara Wheatfield. The Starpoint team has certainly come out with a good jump in their step, not the type of result that you would expect to see with a team that still has their most previous game on their minds. Head coach Clayton Wilson says they've had a couple of good practices since the loss on Saturday, and he's confident that his leaders in the locker room were ready to put that loss behind the team and that the whole group is now ready to move forward. So far, that seems to be the case as we're about 6 minutes into the action. Loose puck in the neutral zone. Eddie Kwarziak finding it. He carries it into the offensive end, circling the net, looking for a pass, tries to get it back to the point, but a good job there to get a stick in that lane by Gavin Russell, and now he has a chance to hunt it down in the offensive zone. Johnston gets it away from him and gets it out to center ice, but McClellan finds it there and gets it up to Cyrick. Off of Cyrick's stick and into the offensive zone. Now he tries to find something along the goal line. Pass back towards the point. Eventually connects with Braden Allen. Allen now down to Cyrick, and the two of them trade possession of the puck, but eventually that comes off of Cyrick's stick, and then Grand Island able to find possession, but they're unable to get it out with the first attempt. Here's a second opportunity to get it out. Let's see if this one's successful. Eventually that one is, as Hill made sure it got out to center ice. Starpoint, though, sending it right back inside the blue line. And Grand Island regrouping there. Puck is deflected in on goal, so no icing on that play. Cyrick picking it up inside of his own zone. but his pass doesn't connect, and now Grand Island finds possession. Pass comes out in front. Unable to handle that one there was the forward in front of the net for the Vikings. That could lead to some numbers for Starpoint in the other direction. Bush tries to cut towards the center of the ice as he had Connor Morrow guarding him in front of the net. Unable to maintain possession as he cut towards the slot. Now puck comes through neutral zone and back inside Starpoint territory as they look to counter quickly. Smith picking it up for Grand Island, gets it across to Morrow. Morrow trying to get it out on the near side, but he's got Austin Bush right on him. Smith again trying to help out here in the near corners. The puck comes towards the front of the net. Swain had to be quick with that one as it was possessed very quickly and then thrown out in front. Swain getting the glove on that one to make sure that there was no chance in front of the net for Starpoint. 9:17 now remaining here in the first period. Still awaiting the game's first goal, but plenty of chances so far from both the Starpoint perspective and a couple for Grand Island as well. Starpoint winning possession of the face-off, unable to get a shot out of it with the first attempt. Second shot attempt from Muscarella doesn't get through as well. Puck now in the far corner. Justin Bull finding it there. He gets it around behind the net where he finds Will Mainstone. Mainstone back to the point to Case. D to D across to Cargarella, and then the shot attempt trying to get that one in on net. Looked like it was redirected by Alec Kirk in front of the net. Just couldn't quite get the redirection in on goal. Kirk has it now here in the near corner. Losing control of it, though, is taking that one away and moving it up ice to Sully Court. But Bull has possession again now in the far circle as he gets it back to the point. Muscarella looking for that shooting lane, fired it in towards the net, just barely missing that far post as there was a crowd in front of the net hoping for either a redirection or a rebound opportunity. Back to the point, Muscarella trying to keep it in there, but a bouncing puck is tough for him to handle, and Lewandowski tries to move it forward. Good back check, though, by Alec Kirk to make sure that Lewandowski didn't have a clean look to settle that puck down and carry it in. Now Kirk carries it up ice himself, makes a move to the backhand, tries to get it back to the forehand. Got a little bit of a stick check. That's all that kept that one from being pulled off as the top scorer for the Starpoint Spartans almost created something there with a bit of an end-to-end rush. Kirk again has control of it here in the neutral zone. Gets a head of steam into the offensive end, takes the shot. Save is made by Chris Swain as a really good shift from number 5, Alec Kirk. Two different chances that he creates for himself with his speed and his hands. Good saves, though, by the sophomore netminder Swain, and it stays a 0-0 hockey game.
Right now, Kirk is on his game. He's using his legs to get to those loose pucks, fighting for every inch of space on the ice. If Grand Island wants to compete, they're definitely going to have to get their legs working tonight.
Potentially a matchup that Alec Kirk certainly likes. When these two teams met in the sectional final last year, both of the goals were scored by number 5, Alec Kirk, so maybe it's the matchup that gets the proper amount of game out of him. Certainly so far with that last shift and with the first 10 minutes of action here so far. Puck in the offensive zone for Starpoint, unable to get that pass back from the half wall to the point, and they have to go back into their own zone before they're able to regroup and send it back up ice. Bouncing puck is settled down by Reed Mariner, and he dumps it into the offensive zone. Swain out of his net to try to play it to a defenseman, but Gavin Russell's the first one there. A little bit more of a battle there than I'm sure the Grand Island netminder wanted to see after he set that one up. Almost a chance in front as that shot came in from the point and bounced before it got to the goal crease. It was Cyrek in front of the net looking for that chance before he could settle it down, though it was played off to the corner. Slowly back into the Starpoint territory. It's not going to go far enough for icing with the late wave off there by the official. And now this is going to be Joe Manguso carrying it up ice. Connects on a pass to Austin Bush. Now back to Manguso, and he has a little bit of difficulty with that. Kwarziak able to pick it up. Dumps it in deep in the offensive zone. And now Grand Island looks to set up their forecheck down low. Hannon gets it around behind the net, and then a big hit there in front of the net as throwing his shoulder into his man there in front was number 14, Evan Russo. Sorry, that was number 19, Jason Hill. I apologize. Eventually, it's going to be Rich Garou covering that puck up as it came in front of the net. So 6:22 is now what remains in period number 1. Still no score here in this one as both teams have created some opportunities in the early going here of this one. Nothing, though, in terms of those really golden scoring chances yet, though, Jeff.
Just the one right in the middle early for Grand Island is probably still the best chance we've seen all game, and hopefully maybe a little established zone pressure from Grand Island here with the face-off deep in the Starpoint zone.
Certainly both teams doing a good job in the early going of make sure they keep track of their defensive responsibilities. Certainly haven't seen any real breakdowns, maybe except for the one little rush that Alec Kirk created for himself, but that was mostly based on making good moves and getting a good head of steam going to be able to step around the defender and give himself the opportunity. Puck at the point, kept in by Patrick Johnston. In behind the Starpoint net now, this is going to be Muscarella changing directions to start the breakout. He's got Alec Kirk. And now this dangerous top line of Starpoint brings it into the offensive zone. Will Mainstone against the near boards. Takes a little bit of a bump there. And now a couple of teammates join to try to keep that puck moving for Starpoint. They get it down low. And then the shot was taken from a tight angle by Alec Kirk. As now we see a player, Will Mainstone, here without his helmet on. As there was a little bit of a exchange of pleasantries here against the near boards after that puck finally came free. So Mainstone gets his helmet back on here, and now I think we're going to have a penalty coming up against Grand Island, as there seems to be a little bit of a conversation between Tucker Schoen, number 4, and the referee. I'm going to guess that means Schoen is going to head to the penalty box, and it's a roughing call that he is being charged with. Like he was trying to make the claim that it was a dive on the Starpoint player's part. There was the international sign for diving, the hands swimming in front of your body. Obviously not getting his way with that call, so it's going to be an early chance, not necessarily early, but a first period opportunity on the power play. 5:41 to go here in first period play. Starpoint now getting the chance with the man advantage.
I really like what Starpoint does on their power play as well. Generally, using more of an umbrella type setup up in the few games we've seen, and it seems to be very effective for them, except for in that last game.
Well, the one goal they did score was on the power play, so I think you can at least continue to make that point based on that, but at least here in the early going of this power play, Grand Island getting the clear. Eddie Kwarziak sending it down into Starpoint territory. Spartans now finding possession. Kirk carries it up ice, gets it just inside the blue line, losing control of it, but Mainstone picking it up and now gets it back to Kirk in the far corner. Kirk stick handling there, and now to the midpoint where Justin Bull has it. Bull over to the far side. Joe Manguso giving it back to Bull as he looks for a lane to fire that shot through. Shot gets blocked by Kwarziak, but he was unable to see where that was, and that allowed Bull to pick it back up again. Bull and Kirk now playing catch here against the near boards. Cross-ice pass. Joe Manguso unable to get a lot on that one. Just kind of rolled off of the heel of his stick. Puck is kept in possession, though, of Starpoint as Cardarella comes over to find control of it. Cardarella now stick handling on the far wall as he looks for a pass down low to Mainstone. Mainstone looking to get it back up that far wall. Now this is going to be Joe Manguso getting it back to Bull. Bull now here on the near side. Looked like a one-timer being set up there for Kirk, but he maybe got about 25% on that one that he would have wanted to. Kind of a half shot that ended up turning into a little bit of a changeup in on the netminder, but he able to handle that one was Chris Swain. So we have a stoppage, a minute 5 into this power play, so 55 seconds remaining on the man advantage. Starpoint keeping those same 5 players out there for the remainder of this power play. Mainstone with a clean win on the faceoff and allows Starpoint to get their power play formation back into place again. Kirk here on the near side. A little bit of a skip pass across to Manguso on the far end. And now Kirk again here at the top of the circle looking for that lane. His pass or shot attempt is blocked, but he has it back on his stick again. He avoids one man, now has a little bit of room to maneuver. Makes a move to get free of Sully Court. Now has the puck back on his stick again here at the dot. Cross-ice pass and then a quick shot taken by Manguso, saved by Swain. And Mainstone again finding control of that rebound. 20 seconds now remaining on the power play. Kirk back to Bull. Bull takes that one-timer. Maybe not as much on that one as he would have wanted to, but it was a good, hard, low shot that Swain had to handle with the stick. Ended up deflecting it up and out of play. So now just 18 seconds remaining on the power play. And Starpoint getting a new unit out there for the last little bit of power play time that they have.
It really seems like Swain has really settled into this game. At first it looked like he was fighting the puck a little bit, bobbling it, but now he definitely seems in control.
Grand Island winning control of the faceoff, and that will allow them to kill off some more time here on the power play. Last 10 seconds ticking away here on this man advantage as Allen goes back for it. Cuts in front of his net to give himself a little bit of room to maneuver. Now Russell has some speed up the left side. Really good play there by Sully Court. If Russell got past him with the puck there, he could have been in all alone with plenty of speed and nothing but ice in between him and the netminder. Grand Island penalty has expired. And now Starpoint looking to work it up the far side, but it's only able to get to the blue line where it's kept in by number 10, Jackson Montana. Pass along to number 11, Rainier Khan, and his shot in on goal. Guru making the save. Holds on for a whistle with 3:22 now remaining in the first period. So a good penalty kill there in the first opportunity with a man advantage for Grand Island. Let's see if they can grab some momentum from their penalty kill and generate some offensive zone chances for themselves here. Montana on for the draw. He had one of the 5 goals against Newport earlier on this week as Grand Island snapped their 3-game losing streak. A pretty solid 5-1 victory on Monday night. Montana now with possession of it down below goal line. He feeds it out in front. He had a man in front. Rainier Khan just unable to get enough of control on that one to settle it down and get that shot away. Good-looking play, though, being set up down low. Khan with another opportunity as that shot's right in on Guru. Good save made. There was a rebound there briefly on that one. And again, a shot comes in from the point. That one, Connor Morrow let go. Guru has to do a little bit better of a job controlling those rebounds. There have been a couple of chances here in the last few moments. Defenders, though, picking them up so far and getting that puck out of danger. Now Starpoint making some changes as they work it up the far side. Cyric tries to get around Connor Morrow, but he's unable to get so as the Grand Island defender stands him up in the neutral zone. Mainstone finding possession of it here right at the center ice dot, and he carries it in across the blue line. He's got 2 different Grand Island defenders on him, making things just a little bit more difficult, and that's going to end up being cleared out of the zone by Prisville. Can't get it to a teammate. Now it's going to be Alec Kirk looking to counter. Kirk across the blue line. Good stick check there by Connor Morrow, keeping Alec Kirk from getting in towards the net. Starpoint forcing their own turnover, though. Mainstone tried to get that one down deep in the zone. Grand Island, though, getting it away from that pressure and now getting it into the offensive end. Aiden Case hard up the near boards. Too far for Alec Kirk, but not far enough for icing as Sully Court picks it up behind his own net. Looking for a pass, just floats it up this near wall where he's got Lewandowski. Lewandowski then into the middle of the ice, and then the puck is dumped into the offensive zone by Jamin Wright. Wright had 3 goals in the Monday win against Newport. Well, Mainstone finding control of that one. 1:40 to go here in first period play. Now Mainstone's got to walk the blue line and wait for his team to tag up. Eventually his teammates do so, and he carries it in across the blue line, but unable to get too far as Jason Hill takes it away from him, then dumps it in off the back glass, allowing Kwarziak to pick it up. Pass in front of the net, intercepted, and now here comes Starpoint with some pace. Justin Bull gaining the blue line, tries to take that shot through a screen, but he got a little bit of a stick lift from behind as Jason Hill did a good job coming back defensively there. Alec Kirk trying to get possession of the puck there on the far wall, but Patrick Johnston takes it away from him. Looks to start it up this near side as we approach a minute to play in the first period. Eddie Kwarziak's pass in front of the net is intercepted. Now Kirk tries to find possession here in the neutral zone. Smith takes it away, though, and dumps it back into the offensive zone for Grand Island. Kwarziak and Smith down low, setting up that pressure, but good work to get it away from that pressure and get it up ice. Now a little bit of a 3-on-3 into the offensive zone. Bush taking the shot. Save is made. Rebound opportunity there. Bush is the one that finds it. Gets that one back to the point to Cyric. 34 seconds remaining in the period. Cyric sidesteps one man. A couple of passes connected on. Now Starpoint setting it up here in the offensive zone. Down low, this is Cardarella trying to get that one out in front. He got it to Bush, but there were 2 different men on him. And now Grand Island able to get the clear and send it back out into center ice. 17 seconds now remaining in the period, as it's going to be Cardarella getting it up to Cyric here right in front of our broadcast position. Moves it forward. Now the last 10 seconds ticking it away of the period. A little bit of a sloppy zone entry there as the one Starpoint player tried to take it in through the legs of the other Starpoint player. Obviously, that didn't work out, ends up resulting in an offside, so we will have at least one more draw here with 6.9 seconds remaining in the period. Cyric winning the draw, and that should probably just about do it for the period as Braden Allen just carries it back into his own zone. The horn sounds, and that signals the end of period number 1, but a good, fast-paced period of play between these two small schools rivals. Pair of schools that met for the Small Schools Championship last year. A thrilling 2-1 game that was. This one's been a pretty exciting one as well. It's a 0-0 score through one period of play. 15-6, is that what I just heard for shots on goal?
That is what I heard as well. It seems actually about right to me.
15-6 for Grand Island in terms of the shots on goal?
Starpoint.
Or was it Starpoint? All right. Either way, we
definitely a lot of rebound chances early to start that period for Starpoint. That's where I think the shot differential comes from.
I'll go ahead and I'll go and confirm that when we get a chance here during the break. But about ready to step away here for our first intermission as we have no score after 20 minutes of play. but a very quick-moving first period, and only the one penalty, really, so not a whole lot going on other than good, clean hockey out there on the ice.
Exactly, like good defensive hockey, keeping everyone to the outside, getting shot lanes clear so your goalie can see it. Like, honestly, the epitome of defensive hockey.
And neither team really much willing to give up any type of opportunities to the opponent here in this one, at least so far. Both teams making sure that they take care of their end of the ice first before creating at the other end of the ice, but that didn't mean that there weren't any opportunities there in that period, a couple on each side of the ice, as we expect both teams to open it up a little bit more in period number 2. Our broadcast today is proudly supported by the architects at Lauer Manguso & Associates. Architecture, engineering, and design services from Lauer Manguso have earned the firm a reputation for quality and excellence spanning more than 4 decades. Also by Envious Gameware, designers of high-end custom hockey uniforms, bags, and apparel. The thinking of look good, feel good, play good goes into every Envious jersey design. Find them online, enviousgameware.com, to get your team a look to be envious of. Also by 412 Communications, the new gold standard in digital media solutions, offering consultation for web and graphic design, social media, writing and editing services, multimedia solutions, and much more. Visit them, 412communications.com, to learn how they can help your brand build bridges with the people you serve. We're going to take a little bit of a break here for the first intermission, but we'll be back in about 10 minutes for period number 2. You're watching live coverage of Section 6 high school hockey on the Nickel City Hockey Network. And welcome back to Niagara Falls. We're at the Hyde Park Pavilion as we get set for second period action between Starpoint and Grand Island. No score through 17 minutes of play between these two schools, as we had an entertaining first period of play, but in terms of the score sheet, just one penalty on the score sheet and no goals from either side, but a couple of different scoring opportunities. Starpoint with the advantage in terms of shots on goal in period number one. And now we see what they can do in period number two, as this is a rematch of last year's Section 6 Small School Championship game, that one being won by Starpoint by a 2-1 score. So obviously Grand Island coming into this game looking to get a little bit of revenge for that game from last season, but this is also the type of game that I think both teams are looking to use as a springboard for the rest of their season. Thank you for joining us for this early afternoon affair here on the Nickel City Hockey Network. My name is Aaron Elpern, happy to be bringing the call of this afternoon's game alongside camera operator and color commentator Jeff Jazarowski. As Jeff, maybe it was a bit of a feeling out period in terms of neither team looking to give too much away in terms of great offensive opportunities to the other team. Certainly a defensive focus from both sides.
As both teams really protected their own zone first, and maybe this period we'll start seeing like more breakout long stretch passes.
Turnover in the offensive zone for Grand Island to start off period number two. Rich Guru has to make a save right off the outgoing start. Now Starpoint looking to counter and move it back in the other direction, just off sides though with that zone entry for Will Mainstone. And so we get a stoppage in play. Face-off coming up here in the neutral zone right in front of our broadcast position, as we have no score early on in period number two. Starpoint winning control of the face-off. Alec Kirk winning that one back to Manguso. Puck is deflected into the offensive zone. Now Will Mainstone looks to put some pressure on in the offensive end. Sully Court getting it away from that pressure and getting it to the blue line. And now it's picked up by Leone and carried into the offensive zone. Leone just floats it in on goal. Like he had a man going towards that far post. He was hoping for maybe the pass off the pads of the goaltender. Maybe not enough on it to get the rebound to come off of Guru. Guru smartly just covering that one up, making sure there is no second chance opportunity. So the first bit of an chance in terms of a scoring opportunity goes in favor of Grand Island in period number two. Now they get the offensive zone draw afterward. Starpoint, though, winning control of that face-off, and they look to start the breakout on the far side, but Eddie Kwarziak getting in the way of that one. Gets it back to the point to Smith. Smith now cross-ice to Morrow. Morrow tries to take that shot through traffic. He had a deflection in front of the net. It looked like it just got tipped right in front of the netminder, Guru. Good passing by the Grand Island Vikings, and a good finish. I'm not sure if it's going to be Morrow or the guy in front of the net that ended up getting the goal. Morrow's going to the bench for the celebration. Either way you look at it, it's a 1-0 Grand Island lead.
That was a good puck retrieval by Grand Island that really led to the chance. After losing the face-off deep in the offensive zone, they chased that puck down and made a chance out of nothing there.
And quickly went about it, too. It wasn't a slow-moving play by any means. It was one pass up the boards, another one across to Morrow at the right point, and then Morrow letting that shot through, whether or not it was the screen or a redirection in front of the net that ended up resulting in the goal. It's a 1-0 Grand Island lead. Ian Hannon getting credit for the goal with the redirection in front of the net, as it's Starpoint looking to counter. Shot taken but missing wide by Jim Manguso, and now coming in from the point position is going to be McClellan keeping it in. His keep-in attempt, though, ended up on the stick of Smith, and now he gets it up to Hannon, the goal scorer, and he brings it into the offensive zone. Takes a shot through a little bit of a screen, but a good job by Braden Allen to get a stick on that one. Force that puck to be redirected up into the protective netting. So we get a stoppage in play. Face-off will be coming up inside the Starpoint zone. Grand Island out in front with the 1-0 lead.
That was very good defensive work by Allen there, taking away the time and space of the shooter. Getting his stick in the lane and causing the puck to go out of play.
Looked like the type of setup that was going to be a great opportunity. There's another one as that shot came in from the point. Maybe just rolled on Lewandowski as he looked like he had a lot of net to shoot it at on that rebound on the far side. Grand Island finding control again. Jamin Wright now here in the near corner with a man on him. Slides it along the wall, and now in behind the net, two different Grand Island players there trying to battle for possession against the Starpoint defender. It's going to be Starpoint coming out of the pile with it. Jacob Cyrick gets it up ice, and now he gets it to Cardarella. Cardarella comes in 2-on-2. Good defensive play by Sully Court to knock Cardarella off of that one, but he returns the favor and takes it right back from him and gets it to Bush. Bush gets knocked down and almost gets that pass out in front of the net to Cyric. Good pass there from his backside. Delayed penalty coming up against Grand Island as Rich Carew heads to the bench. Shot in on goal. Swain makes the first save. He had Cardarella in front of him looking for that rebound chance. Like the shot on the rebound opportunity went wide. Then Grand Island got their touch on it. So we get the tripping penalty called. This one's going to be going against number 17, Zachary Prisbill. So it's now an opportunity on the power play for Starpoint, and this gives them the opportunity and a chance to get back to even here in this game. I would make the suggestion that they were probably the better team in period number 1, Jeff, but the game's first goal went to the other side, went to Grand Island here in period number 2.
Yeah, I don't know what the Grand Island coach said during intermission, but he got his players ready for this period. Their legs are moving, and they got the first goal because of it.
End up taking a penalty, though, shortly thereafter, and now they're going to have to kill off that penalty as Starpoint gets themselves set up here in the offensive zone. This is Joe Manguso at the midpoint, gets it to Bull. Bull tries to feed that one in front. He had two different men there trying to look for that redirection. Neither one of them able to get the stick on it. Bull takes the shot himself this time. He beat the goaltender from the near bar post. On that one was Dominic Leone. Starpoint, though, keeps it moving, though. Cross-ice pass from Kirk to Bull and a one-time run on net. Swain making that stop. Minute 10 to go in the power play as Cardarella carries it out of the corner. Gets it to the mid-slot and now feeds it across to Kirk. Kirk back to Bull here on this near side as the two of them play a long game of catch across the two half walls. Cardarella in the corner, tries to get that pass out in front. Sorry, that's Mainstone in the far corner. This is Cardarella with it on his stick now. 50 seconds remaining on the power play. Cardarella takes a shot just inside the top of the circle. Couldn't quite get it onto the target, though, as he just missed the net high and wide. Still 40 seconds remaining on the power play as that pass goes over the stick of Joe Manguso and back into the Starpoint territory. Quick change being made here by Grand Island. Nicely executed to make sure they got 4 fresh penalty killers out there before Starpoint was able to take advantage of possibly some numbers opportunity. Patrick Johnson finding a loose puck and sending that one the length of the ice. Now just 20 seconds remaining on this Starpoint power play. Justin Bull finding control, and he looks to get it up ice. Long pass to the far blue line. Connected on with Mainstone, but that left skate just barely stepping in across offsides. That's the only thing that kept that from being a golden breakaway opportunity on the power play for Mainstone and Starpoint. Instead, because that pass came all the way from the Starpoint zone, it's going to be a zone face-off to the right of Rich Carew.
I like the adjustment Starpoint made on their power play here. They had Bull playing the top of the umbrella on their first power play. This one, they had him off on the left face-off and he got quite a few shots in and on net with a lot of possible chances created.
Last couple of seconds ticking away on the Grand Island penalty as they have some good defensive work coming back into their own zone. The goal scorer, Ian Hannon, doing a good job making sure he took that puck off of the Starpoint player's stick just inside the Grand Island blue line. His effort to get it up ice into the offensive zone for Grand Island didn't really go very far. And now Bush with the dump in right on goal. That almost resulted in what looked to be a fairly innocuous looking play, but it was almost a great chance for Reed Mariner. Now it's a 2-on-1 in the other direction. Kwarziak in on goal, gets that pass across. He had a man in front. Hannon looking for that second one, just unable to get the shot inside the post as Kwarziak seemed to wait until the absolute last second to make that pass across the crease. Now it's Kwarziak putting some pressure on in the far corner. Puck comes free, and it's the other team's number 9 finding it. This is Bush carrying a pass out in front behind the man that was in front of the cage, but came right back out to the point and allowed them to keep the puck in on the blue line. Johnston up the far wall, gets it back into the offensive zone. Ian Hannon gets that pass out in front, just a little bit out of the reach of Kwarziak. And now Manguso gets it up to Bush on the far side. Starpoint getting it just across the blue line. Losing control of it there. Jason Hill creating a play defensively. Now it's going to be Grand Island looking to put some pressure on in the far corner. Hill coming in to put some of that heat on the forecheck. But it's going to be Starpoint moving it out without too much difficulty. That is Jim Manguso dumping it into the offensive zone. Set up there by Swain. Swain to Johnson. He banks a pass off the near boards, and now Hannon comes into the offensive zone. 2-on-2 setting up. Hammond tries to feed that one out in front. He had Kwarziak cutting towards the net, just a bit off the mark as they tried to get a little bit of a redirection play set up. Didn't miss by a whole lot, just a couple of inches behind the stick of Kwarziak. Foot race there, dangerous play. Goaltender comes out of his net, almost pays for it as Kirk tried to feed Mainstone on the doorstep. Mainstone unable to beat the netminder as Swain able to get back in place before it was too late. Now here at the other blue line, Simpliski unable to get it into the offensive zone before he took himself in offsides. Just not quite cleanly handling that pass. That ends up resulting in an offsides. And now we'll get the face-off outside of the Starpoint zone. A couple of chances there in quick succession as game had kind of gotten a little bit sleepy here in the second period, but the intensity ratcheting back up now as we're under 7 minutes to go in the frame.
That save by Swain was absolutely amazing. Got himself a little bit out of position, but then made up for it by making a sick save.
Acrobatic and absolutely needed in that spot because I wasn't sure he was going to have enough time to get back into position. Alec Kirk reading that one pretty nicely, realizing that it was a better angle for Mainstone to take the shot. Smartly got it across to him, but a really good save by the netminder Swain. This time he can't make the save on the opportunity for the second chance. The first shot in on goal from Mainstone. The rebound comes out to number 5, Alec Kirk, and that one's put home. It's now a 1-1 hockey game, and I'm pretty sure that one is going to be point number 100 for Justin Bull as you see his teammates collect that puck. So it's a celebratory moment as number 7 hits a milestone in his varsity career. Puck against the far boards, 2-on-2 battle for it. It ends up coming free and now moved up the far wall. This is going to be Merrifield cutting it through the neutral zone. Merrifield in towards the slot, shot in on goal, save is made by Swain. Second shot opportunity from a tough ankle, Swain makes that save as well. Hangs on for no second or third opportunity as it was, and he covers up for a face-off in the offensive zone for Starpoint. Now 5:42 to go in the period. Now that we have a tie game here, Jeff, I'm interested to see which team has the better amount of intensity and better play here for the next 5:42 of this period. See which team can seize control of this game.
Whoever dictates control of the rest of this period is going to be a good chance that they are the winner. This is the most important 5:30 left in the game just to get that momentum and control of the game.
2-on-1 opportunity setting up for Grand Island. Pass in front of the net, really nicely handled as that one was in the feet of Lewandowski. Had to kick it forward just to be able to get a shot away. Nicely done just to be able to make sure he got that shot in on goal. Prezioso making the save, keeping this one a 1-1 hockey game. But certainly neither team is going to relent in terms of trying to create opportunities here in this one. That opportunity going the way of Grand Island. They've certainly had a much better second period than I think they did in the first, Jeff.
For sure. Like, the overall speed and intensity they're bringing to this period, way better than the first.
Loose puck here just inside the blue line of the Starpoint zone. Settled down by Cyric as Grand Island has to clear the zone. Cyric now on the far side as he tries to get a pass across to Bush. A little bit of a dangerous spot to make that pass. Another dangerous pass there floated through the middle of the Starpoint zone. Spartans get away with it, though, as you see some consternation on the Starpoint bench. Coaches looking down at their feet as they manage to avoid any sort of danger there, and they might be rewarded with a numbers opportunity in the offensive zone. Cyric carrying it through the slot. Tries to drop it to Cargarella, just unable to quite handle that pass cleanly. And now it's going to be moved forward by Grand Island. Puck played with a high stick, but not blown dead as Kwarziak gets it in on goal. Ricky Kwarziak taking that shot. Loose puck comes free towards the slot, and that shot taken by Montana, but it was deflected out of play by a Starpoint stick. Almost an opportunity there in a dangerous scoring place, but the good deflection there by the Starpoint defender keeps that one from getting in on goal and keeps this one a 1-1 hockey game. 4:16 now remaining here in the second period. Faceoff is going to be in the near dot. Looked like all the players were ready for a faceoff on the other side, but that's where the puck went out of play. It was shot from this near side. It's going to be Dominic Leone and Alec Kirk on for this faceoff. Leone winning it for Grand Island. The puck is sent towards the near corner. Handled there, and then a shot in on goal. Mitchell Sampliski let that one go. Got deflected late and then up over the shoulder of the netminder. Sampliski with it again here in the corner. He takes a hit, but he gets that pass out in front. Leon's backhand shot just missing high. Starpoint's top line now moving it through the neutral zone. Alec Kirk gains the blue line. Now uses that low, strong base to pivot around the defenseman. He made a nice pass out in front of the net, just couldn't find anyone with it. Leon now getting the clear, sends it into the Starpoint bench, so we get a stoppage in play because of that. 3:44 remaining in second period play, as we'll get a neutral zone face-off coming up right in front of the Starpoint bench.
I really like the transition game of Starpoint right now. Oh, every chance they can get on a puck, they are getting on the puck and bringing 2 to 3 men up the ice and creating good chances from it.
Yeah, we mentioned that Grand Island certainly has had a better second period than they did a first, but I think you can make the same statement for Starpoint. While they were probably the better team in the first period, I feel like they've upped their game somewhat here in the second period. Their scoring chances have certainly been a lot better, obviously based on the goal that they got about halfway through this period. So we got an icing call on this play as we're in the last 3:22 to play of second period action. Grand Island making a couple of changes here, getting that line of Kwarziak, Hannon, and Hill out there for this face-off. Meanwhile, it is the other top line from Starpoint against them. That is Kirk, Mainstone, and Bull. Starpoint winning control of it. Kirk now tries to get it across to Bull, but it was deflected before it got to him here in the near part of the high slot. Now it's dumped into the offensive zone by Grand Island. Kwarziak's the first one into the zone, putting some pressure on, but the netminder Prezioso plays it off to the boards. Now Mainstone tries to move it up the far wing, cuts towards the center to give himself a little bit of room, but a good stick check by Smith just inside the blue line, creating a loose puck for Grand Island. Now they might have a step, and that was Kwarziak behind the defense. Maybe had room to take another stride before he let that shot go. Took the shot, save made by the netminder Prezioso. Grand Island now with another opportunity to get that puck out in front. In the skates of Jason Hill, though, and that gives a chance to Starpoint to go back in the other direction. Bull with an opportunity, takes one shot, rebound is there, Mainstone can't quite get to it. Bull eventually does, though. He takes the shot from just inside the dot, and he fires it up over the left shoulder of the goaltender. It's 2-1 Starpoint as Justin Bull picks up the goal to give his team the lead.
Like I was saying earlier, Aaron, with the transition game bringing 2 to 3 men up the ice, the Starpoint then got the puck to the front of the net, caused a scramble. Justin Bull ends up finding the puck out of the scramble, taking 2 steps back and pick in a corner and sniping it on the goal. Nothing Swain could do there.
So Grand Island got the game's first goal. The first goal of this period, all the scoring so far being done here in second period play. Starpoint, though, storming back with 2 goals of their own. And it's the, no surprise, the Starpoint top line responsible for both of those goals. First one scored by leading goal scorer Alec Kirk, as he picked up his 13th of the season. Then it's Justin Bull getting his 6th to go along with the assist he had earlier in the game. And if you're just joining us, those 2 points here in this game give Justin Bull a milestone for his varsity career. The assist on the previous goal was his 100th point as a member of the Starpoint varsity team. Now he is up to 101 with that most recent goal. Starpoint now in the offensive zone again as they look to add to their 2-1 lead. Aiden Case, cross-ice pass right onto the tape in front of the net. Almost getting that one-timer away was number 12. Reed Mariner just couldn't quite get a hold of that one. Now, it appears that we're getting, it sounded like over the public address announcement there that they're saying that Bull's goal was his 100th point and that they didn't give him an assist on the previous one. Either way, it's 100 points for Justin Bull on his career. Whether or not it happened on the first goal here in the second period or the second, I think is rather immaterial because I think the goal is going to end up being a pretty good highlight for him moving past 100 points on his career, certainly to add a lot more to it before he's done with his senior season. Minute 15 to go here in second period play. Icing is waved off, and now Grand Island might get a chance to put some pressure on. Jackson Montana creates a loose puck, fires a shot towards the net. Good block as Aiden Case got in the way of that one. Needed to get in the way of that one because it looked like it was labeled for that far corner, and I'm not sure the netminder Prezioso was able to see. Puck is kept in by Connor Morrow. Good play at the point to let a shot go. That one got deflected wide, but Grand Island keeps it moving as we're under a minute to go in the period. Morrow now slides in from his point position to keep that play moving, and now the puck comes out in front of the net. Dangerous moment there, and then the shot comes through and hits the crossbar as Smith let that shot go from the high slot. Prezioso never saw that one and hit just about where the crossbar and post meet here on the near side. Came back out, though, and just inches away from this being a tie game.
Very good setup by Grand Island there, getting chances, unfortunately just not getting the puck through. Two big blocks there by Aiden Case, doing a fantastic job protecting this lead for Starpoint before the intermission.
Wondering whether or not Grand Island would have some sort of response after Starpoint took the lead. They certainly did a good job with that shift to show that they're not going anywhere here in this game. See whether or not they can finish off the period strong as well. Starpoint dumping it in as we have 25 seconds remaining in second period play. Patrick Johnston finds control of it, gets it out towards the slot. Ends up being a dangerous moment there as a diving save is made by Swain as Cardarella had a chance in tight, got himself to the forehand and took the shot. Netminder had to leave his feet to make that stop and keep this one a 2-1 hockey game. Now we have a penalty being called here, and based on the fact that, see the palms upturned from a Starpoint player, Cardarella, it's going to be against him. Number 19 is, in fact, heading to the box, and it's a high stick penalty that he is being charged with. So it went from what looked like a chance for Starpoint to increase their lead here late in the period. Instead, it ends up being a little bit of an abbreviated power play before the end of the period for Grand Island. Then they'll have, if they're unable to succeed in these 16 seconds, they'll have almost a full one to start off period number 3. Starpoint gets the clear off that draw to start off this power play, so now just 8 seconds to go on the period. And I think Grand Island's going to be content to see a fresh ice for 1:40 of power play time in period number 3. As the horn goes to finish period number 2, it's 1:44 of power play time. That's going to be carrying over for Grand Island into the third period. But the story was second period play, as it was Grand Island getting the first goal of the period, opening the scoring and getting the 1-0 lead. But Starpoint came charging back. The top line getting both goals for the Starpoint Spartans. Alec Kirk getting the first one, Justin Bull with the second one. And it is now a 2-1 lead in favor of Starpoint, heading into the second intermission.
Overall, really good period by both teams. Grand Island using established zone pressure to get all their chances, while Starpoint's using their transition and game to get their goals. It is two offensively-minded teams battling in a defensive battle, Aaron.
25-18 shots on goal for the game after 2 periods. I'm not sure which side. Unable to quite hear that clearly over the public address, but we'll certainly try to get that one nailed down as we move forward. I guess it's 25-18 in favor of Starpoint, but that is a semi-educated guess on my side of things. Certainly appreciate you joining us for our broadcast here this afternoon on the Nickel City Hockey Network, and our broadcast today is proudly supported by the architects at Lauer Manguso & Associates. Architecture, engineering, and design services from Lauer Manguso have earned the firm a reputation for quality and excellence spanning more than 4 decades. Our broadcast also supported by Envious Gameware, designers of high-end custom hockey uniforms, bags, and apparel. The thinking of look good, feel good, play good goes into every Envious jersey design. And you can find them online, enviousgameware.com, to get your team a look to be envious of. Supporters also include 412 Communications, the new gold standard in digital media solutions, offering consultation for web and graphic design, social media, writing and editing services, multimedia solutions, and more. You can visit them, 412communications.com, to learn how they can help your brand build bridges with the people you serve. We're going to step away here for the second intermission, but we'll be back with period number 3 in about 10 minutes. You're watching live coverage of Section 6 high school hockey on the Nickel City Hockey Network. And welcome back to Hyde Park as we have third period play underway. Some small technical issues here on our end, but hopefully we get that sorted out without too much more time. Just underway here, about a minute into the action here in third period play. It is Starpoint and Grand Island. Starpoint leading this one by a score of 2-1 through 2 periods of play, scoring both goals in the second period. Actually, all 3 goals here in this game were scored in the second period. It was Grand Island getting on the board first, and then it was Starpoint getting the next 2 goals of the game. Alec Kirk and Justin Bull getting the goals for Starpoint to give them the 2-1 lead as we are here in third period play now. This is Eddie Kwarziak carrying it into the offensive zone for Grand Island. Drops a pass off. Now back to the point to Smith. Still 20 seconds remaining in a power play for Grand Island. Kwarziak with a quick shot there after he took a pass in the slot. Couldn't get it in on goal, just barely missing the net wide. Opportunity down low. Hannon gets it out in front. Kwarziak right there, and he puts it home inside the far post. It's now a 2-2 hockey game as it's Grand Island taking advantage of the power play. And no surprise, it is their top scorer, Eddie Kwarziak, getting the goal. And it's now a 2-2 hockey game. As we continue to try to work on our feed here from Hyde Park Pavilion. It's a 2-2 game, about a minute and a half into the third period. Eddie Kwarziak getting the goal for Grand Island to make this one a tie game and to set up what should be a great final 15 minutes here in this game. Kirk gets it down low to Mainstone. Now back to Kirk along the near wall. Stick handling with it there. Tries to bank a pass back to the point, but that one goes a little bit too far for Allen. He has to go back into his own zone as we are approaching 13 minutes to play here in the third period. Allen banks a pass off behind the boards, behind his net. And now it's going to be sent back to Allen here on the far side. Allen now looking for a pass, but he's got a man right on him. Loose puck as Jamin Wright creates that turnover. Now 2 different Starpoint players have to come over to try to move that puck forward. Eventually Allen does so, and he gets it up to the near boards to Mainstone. Mainstone on to Kirk, and Kirk takes it in over the blue line. Looks to make a move around the defenseman. Good play by Sully Court to make sure there was no lane to get around him there. Now an opportunity back in the other direction. This is going to be Prisville. Prisville cuts towards the slot, drops a pass off to Lewandowski. He's got a shooting lane there, but a good play by Prezioso to come out of his net to cut down that angle. Court coming up to step into the neutral zone to make a good play there. That could have been a 2-on-1 setting up for Starpoint, but the Grand Island defenseman was aggressive at his point position to make sure he came up and cut off that lane before there was any sort of advance up that far side. Now Starpoint keeping it in on the far side, making a change as they do so. Back to the point. Manguso can't keep it in, but he's got the puck here in the neutral zone. Has a man in front of him, Lewandowski, as he knocks it into the offensive zone. And now McClellan moves it forward. And this is going to be carried into the offensive zone by Merrifield. Chases it down in the corner as Smith pokes it past him. Played out in front. Man is there, but he's taken down on the play. Still manages to get a shot away. Reed Mariner on the backhand got that shot away despite being knocked down before letting it go. Mariner now in the far corner. Back to the point. He's got McClellan there. That shot doesn't get through traffic. It was blocked on its way through, and now it's going to be Ian Hannon carrying it up ice. Drops that one to Hill. Hill on his offhand gets a shot in on goal on the forehand. Good work to get himself set up to just get that shot in on net. Good save by Prezioso. Puck is kept in at the point by Smith. Gets it across ice, but Bush makes sure that puck gets out to center ice as we have 11:15 now remaining here in regulation. Continue to work on some things with our feed as we appear to be having some difficulty getting the signal out to folks right now. We'll hopefully get that sorted away here in the next few moments. Please stay with us as we continue to work on that. Starpoint going off sides there as we have 10:33 remaining in third period play. It's a 2-2 hockey game. Grand Island got the first and most recent goals here in this game. They had the first goal in second period play, and they got the most recent one here just a few minutes ago here in the third period. It's a 2-2 hockey game, still sorting through some technical issues on our end. Hopefully we can get that all sorted out here as we continue on here with the last 10 minutes and change here of regulation. And keep on trying to sort through the connection issues here on our end. Sometimes you're at the mercy of technology, Jeff, and everything doesn't exactly come together as you hope it will, but hopefully we get everything in a good enough working order so folks that were unable to make it here to this afternoon's game are able to continue watching at home.
Hopefully so. Luckily, Starpoint helped us out by taking a timeout here for us to help us get enough time. Thank you, Starpoint.
Still having issues here on our end, though, with getting a strong enough signal to send this out to folks. So continue to work on it, and hopefully we'll get things a little bit more improved as we keep going here. 10:33 remaining here in regulation as a face-off now in the Starpoint zone in that far circle. Grand Island winning control of it off the draw. Shot attempt coming in. Good block there by the Starpoint defender getting in the way of that shooting lane as it was Ricky Korziak looking for that opportunity in the mid-slot. Back into the Starpoint offensive zone. Puck is kept in at the point by Allen. Bouncing puck comes to Cardarella. He sets it up there for Cyric, and he gets it down low. Now back out to Cardarella. Makes a move to get around one man. Takes a shot in towards the net. Almost got a redirection there from Cyric. Puck now back into the neutral zone where Allen finds control of it, walking the red line, then dumping it into the offensive zone. Swain coming out of the net to set it up for his defenseman Morrow. Morrow then banks it behind the net to try to start the breakout, but that one doesn't find anyone. This is going to be kept in. Again, Cardarella finding control of that one. They try to get out in front of the net. Cyric unable to be in the right position. Cyric was in the right position, but the pass didn't get to him. Now 9:34 remaining here in regulation as the puck comes up the near wall. And this is going to be Cardarella again trying to find control of it. Trying to move that puck out of the zone. Aiden Case comes in to help out from his defensive position. And now finally it's going to be moved up ice, but it's a little bit out of the reach of Frankie Cardarella. And it goes all the way into the Grand Island zone for an icing call.
Almost hit on that home run stretch pass right there, just out the reach, resulting in an icing. 9:13 remaining, Aaron.
2-2 hockey game. Face-off will be to the left of Prezioso. As we talked about the last 5.5 minutes of the second period being important, Starpoint got the goal in that period of time. But Grand Island doing a good job of making sure they answered here in the third period. That sets up essentially 9 minutes for the victory. Puck inside the Grand Island zone right now. Court picking it up there, starting the breakout. Gets it up to Schoen here on the near wall. Schoen up ice to Leon, but Leon unable to get it into the offensive zone, and then Kirk just sends it right back into the offensive zone for Starpoint. Puck in behind the Grand Island net finally comes free, and it comes out to Kirk in the near corner. Kirk moves around one man, now circling the net as he tries to get that pass out in front. He had a man right on him. Good play by the center, Dominic Leone, to make things difficult there on the top scorer for Starpoint. Grand Island gets the clear and gets it down into the offensive zone, now looking to set up some pressure. Leone chips that pass out in front of the net. Quick shot taken by Sampliski as he had an opportunity to let one go and get it right in on net, and a good save made by Prezioso. Puck now moved through the neutral zone, but Sully Court setting up a wall there on his own blue line, making sure that they were unable to get it into the offensive zone. Unfortunately, from his perspective, he's guilty of an icing as he tried to play that one forward up the far wall. So faceoff's going to come back down into Grand Island territory. 8:15 now remaining in the third. Under 7 minutes to go in regulation as Starpoint sets some pressure in the offensive zone. Pass comes out in front of the net. Unable to connect on that one there was Cyric, and it's going to be Lewandowski into the offensive zone for Grand Island. Tries to get that shot through a screen. Aiden Case getting the block on it, but a rebound comes out in front. 2 chances in tight. Grand Island finally finds control of it and puts it home. It's going to be Zachary Prisbill getting the goal. It's now a 3-2 lead in favor of Grand Island. A scramble in front of the net. Eventually the puck comes to Prisbill and he puts it home. Now 3-2 in favor of Grand Island.
Bit of a scramble play right there, and everything just all over the place. Prisbill finds the puck and slots it home. Dirty, greasy goal right there.
Certainly was, and the type of goal that you would expect to find in a tightly contested defensive type of game. Going to have to earn everything you get in a game like this, and in that case, Zachary Prisbill certainly did, getting that grimy one on the scoreboard and giving his team a 3-2 lead. They had the first goal of this game. Starpoint came back and took the lead 2-1 in the second period. But in this third period, it's been Grand Island getting both of the goals, and they have the 3-2 lead as a result. After the face-off, puck in behind the Grand Island net. Kirk digs it out of his skates and gains control of it. Now he gets it back to the point. Allen makes a move there to sidestep one man and gets it down low. Justin Bull along the near boards. Bull walking back towards the point, sends it down low. It comes off the backboards right out towards the front of the net. Swain quick with that glove hand. Throws the catching mitt over top of that puck before Will Mainstone's able to get to it. And he hangs on for a whistle. 6:03 now remaining in regulation.
Swain playing an absolutely great game so far. Struggled to find the puck early. He battled through that and is using every opportunity to cover the puck to slow down this Starpoint offense.
Icing on that play, so it will come back into Grand Island territory. Starpoint going to get a chance with the offensive zone draw coming up. Still continuing to work on some of the technical issues on our feed here. As Grand Island carries it into the offensive zone, as Kwarziak with the puck as he gets it out in front of the net. Backhand pass right on the tape. He had Ian Hannon in front. Two good saves made there by Prezioso to deny the fourth goal there. Almost a chance in front as the Grand Island team looking for their fourth of this game.
Really good, strong power move. Forehand, backhand by the skater coming down the wing. Dishes it out front there for not only one but two chances on the rebound.
5:38 now remaining in regulation. Grand Island clinging to a one-goal lead. Starpoint winning control of the face-off. They play it out the far side and get it out into the neutral zone, but it's going to be Sully Court with the puck along his own blue line. Looking for a pass, just goes D to Johnston. Johnston with a little bit of difficulty there with the puck in his skates. Hannon eventually plays it forward. Now Starpoint with possession of it. Aiden Case goes D to D. He's got Manguso along the near blue line. Now back over to Case as they look to move it up the far wing. Gavin Russell deflects it into the offensive zone. Johnston's going to have to go back there for it for Grand Island. Tries to get that pass up the near wall to Kwarziak, but only able to get a touch on that was the top scorer for Grand Island. And now it's going to be Starpoint looking to work it up the far side again. Bouncing puck over the stick of Connor Morrow. He retreats back for it, has to dive to avoid or to keep a Starpoint player from getting to that one. Now he's setting up, trying to play some defense on Merrifield as Merrifield circles the net. Along to Smith. Smith trying to get it out of the zone, but it's kept in here at the blue line by Starpoint. 4:35 remaining here in regulation as Starpoint tries to set up some offensive zone pressure. Connor Morrow plays it from behind the net out to the point. Then finally it's moved forward by Hannon. One-on-one with Kwarziak into the offensive zone. Some back pressure, though, coming in late as Cyric made sure that he made things a little bit more difficult there for the top scorer for Grand Island with some of the pressure defensively on the back check. So 4:14 now remaining here in regulation. As the faceoff will come back into the Starpoint zone to the right of the netminder Prezioso. Faceoff played back to the corner. Jacob Cyric picks it up there. Circles the net. Now looks for a pass up the left wing. Gets it to Bush and then quickly on to Cardarella. Cardarella through the middle of the ice. Takes a hit just inside the offensive zone by Patrick Johnston. Johnston now looking to carry it up ice himself. Connects on a pass to Jamin Wright, and now moves it up ice. This is Prisbill. Prisbill, who's got the game-winning goal right now in this game, the go-ahead goal for Grand Island. Almost had a chance to add to it there. Good defensive play by Starpoint to negate that opportunity. Now they look to create something themselves. Austin Bush walking in from the point where he picked up that puck, gets it to Cardarella, almost coming out in front of the net. A slowly spinning, trickling puck. Didn't quite get it in front of the net, giving Starpoint any sort of opportunity there to get that second chance in front of the Grand Island cage. 3:25 now remaining here in regulation as Grand Island protecting that one-goal lead here in this matchup. Puck in front of the Starpoint net, or bench rather, as both teams try to find possession. And we get a little bit of the broadcast back up and running right now. Had some issues with the connectivity here in the building, but seem to have everything sorted right now. Hopefully some folks can find us over at our website, nickelcityhockeynetwork.com, to watch the remainder of this game. So we're under 3 minutes to go in regulation. Puck comes into the neutral zone. Connor Morrow, the defenseman for Grand Island, sending it back into the offensive zone. Trying to make things that much more difficult for Starpoint as they have to go 200 feet now before they can get that opportunity for the tying goal. Puck comes back through the neutral zone. Again, Connor Morrow finding possession of it. Gets that pass up ice. Now Dominic Leone carries it into the offensive zone for Grand Island. Tries to shoot through traffic. Gets his own rebound after it was blocked. Never ends up getting a shot in on goal. And now that leads to Manguso carrying it up ice for the Starpoint Spartans. On to Kirk as Kirk looks for a shooting lane. Has two different defenders on him, making things that much more complicated for him. So he plays a pass along to Mainstone. Now back to Kirk. He takes that shot but just misses the far post. Aiden Case keeping it in at the point with 2 minutes to go in regulation. Puck in behind the net. Mainstone cuts and changes directions to over here to the near side. Now he's carrying it out from the corner back to the point. Manguso giving it right back to him as Mainstone tries to set up a give-and-go play there with Kirk. Just that pass coming back from Kirk a little bit off the mark. Minute 42 to go here in regulation as Starpoint tries to get it up ice quickly. Justin Bull letting that shot go, but too high and wide to find the mark. And now Aiden Case back inside his own blue line for the Spartans. Alec Kirk's pass is intercepted, and Kwarziak sends it into the offensive zone. Minute 25 now left. As now we move it up the near side. And Mainstone gets that pass up ice, but Bull unable to do anything with that one. And now it's going to be sent back in by Kwarziak as he looks to get the fourth goal here in this game to put this one ice as we have a minute 10 to go. Grand Island still protecting this lead as puck is flipped, tried to go for that high stretch pass through the neutral zone, ended up going into the rafters of the rink here at Hyde Park. And so it's going to be a defensive zone draw coming up again for Starpoint. Minute 5 remaining here in regulation.
Starpoint's really up against it right now, Aaron. They're going to have to really dig deep and use all 200 feet of the ice in order to get a good chance going.
Starpoint wins the faceoff, and now they look to move it up the far side. Puck is settled down, carried in across the blue line. Pass attempt there doesn't quite get out in front of the net. Now the empty net right now for Starpoint as they get the extra attacker out there to try to get the equalizer. Loose puck as Cardarella gets that puck away from a Grand Island player. Now he has it in behind the net, circles away from one defender, now tries to get a pass back to the point. That one's intercepted. Going to be a chance for the empty net. It just hits the post. As looking to get that one in the empty net was number 15, Jamin Wright. And we have a call being made here as the back official signaled the, I guess that's an icing call?
It should be an icing.
Icing call even though it hits the post?
I'm pretty sure it's still supposed to be icing.
I thought when it hit the post it was going to be negated on that, but I guess that's where the delay came from, is maybe I'm not the only one who's uncertain about that rule, as they end up getting the icing call made as we have 32 seconds now remaining in regulation. Starpoint winning the faceoff, now looking to get something set up in the offensive zone. Cardarella gets it out in front. Kirk with an opportunity. Good save by Swain, denying that chance from in tight. But then we have a puck played with a high stick by a Starpoint player. So that faceoff is going to go all the way back down into the Spartans' territory. 20 seconds remaining here in regulation. Still plenty of time to get that puck down ice, but they're going to have to gain possession of it very quickly.
Luckily for Starpoint, their face-off numbers have been really, really good all game. This is the most important face-off. You have to win this one, get it up ice quickly.
Unable to win it cleanly, but they do have control of it after the face-off. They go with that long pass through the neutral zone. Eventually it comes to Bull, but he's got a couple men in front of him. Still gets that shot away, almost had a lane towards that far post, just barely missing wide. Then Kirk's shot in on net, save made by Swain. Another opportunity as that one was let go by Manguso from the near point. That one again misses wide, and that's how this game's going to come to an end. It's a 3-2 win in favor of Grand Island, and what a third period they had to come away with this victory. Both of the goals in third period play, they come from being down 2-1 to come out with a 3-2 victory, and not a surprise, part of the mix there in the third period. Number 9, Eddie Kwarziak getting a key goal to help his team along to victory.
Him and Swain were key components to this victory for Grand Island. And Kuziak using his speed and scoring ability was super important, but then Swain shutting the door at the other end and was what really sealed the victory for Grand Island here.
A 3-2 victory. Nice to see the sophomore netminder Chris Swain picking up the win here in net today. It was as his coach Bob Simpson was telling us before the game, just his fifth game of the year. He's the starter on the Grand Island JV team, and an opportunity for him to prove himself in a game where he was facing a team with a lot of offensive firepower. And can't really say enough about the performance of the netminder Chris Swain, as he is given an opportunity against a tough opponent, and he certainly made the most of it. He played very well in net today. Certainly what you like to see if you're a coach giving an opportunity to a young goaltender. You like to see him take that opportunity and run with it. In this case, he he shows that he's the type of guy that his coach was telling us about beforehand. He's the type of player that really wants it. He's on the ice every chance he gets, so no surprise that he came in here today and put forth a performance like this. When you get a chance to shine on the big stage, you got to put your best foot forward, and Chris Swain certainly did that today.
Him being so young bodes well for Grand Island's future. After his sophomore year, still 2 more years, that is going to go really well for them as long as they keep scoring. Their defensive game was top-notch today. They could be a powerhouse going forward.
Yeah, they had a little bit of a tough stretch here recently. They had lost 3 straight, but those were against all of the top teams in the Niagara Frontier League. Ken East, Ken West, and Niagara Wheatfield, 3 tough losses against 3 tough squads, but as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, they had a little bit of that bounce-back win against Newport on Monday with a 5-1 victory. They got back into a little bit more style of their game, and I think their coach Bob Simpson would tell you that they just kept that going here today, played their type of game, which is try to outwork your opponent instead of trying to outskill or out-finesse. They had I think what you would certainly describe as a gritty victory here this afternoon.
Definitely a very gritty. Used every little bit of space in the offensive zone that they could possibly get to get the puck to the net, which then allowed them to use their size advantage over Starpoint and pound the puck in.
Starpoint now is in a spot where they're going to need to regroup just a little bit. 3 of the last 4 games have been defeats for the Spartans, but still some positive news coming out today. We just saw a couple of pictures being taken there on the ice as Justin Bowles celebrates his 100th point as a member of the varsity team. Certainly a great career that he should be very proud of and a great milestone here today, but certainly not the result that Starpoint would have been looking for in this afternoon's contest, as it is a 3-2 victory in favor of Grand Island. Certainly appreciate you joining our broadcast today, and it was supported by the architects at Lauer Manguso & Associates. Architecture, engineering, and design services from Lauer Manguso have earned the firm a reputation for quality and excellence spanning more than 4 decades. Also by Envious Gameware, designers of high-end custom hockey uniforms, bags, and apparel. The thinking of look good, feel good, play good goes into every Envious jersey design. Find them online, enviousgameware.com, to get your team a look to be envious of. Also by 412 Communications, the new gold standard in digital media solutions, offering consultation for web and graphic design, social media, writing and editing services, multimedia solutions, and more. Visit 412communications.com to learn how they can help your brand build bridges with the people you serve. That's going to do it for our broadcast here from Hyde Park Pavilion. The final score again, it is Grand Island 3 and Starpoint 2. Grand Island getting a measure of revenge for the last time these 2 schools met, that being the Section 6 Small School Championship last year. Starpoint coming out that one with a victory. Today, though, it was Grand Island, the Vikings, winning 3-2, and coming from behind to do so. It was a 2-1 game in favor of Starpoint after 2 periods of play, but both goals in the 3rd period scored by Grand Island, and Zachary Prisbill gets the game winner to give his team their 7th win of the season. That's all for our broadcast here from Hyde Park. For color commentator / camera operator Jeff Jazarowski, my name's Aaron Elpern. Thank you for joining us this evening, and we'll talk to you again on our next broadcast on the Nickel City Hockey Network.